Hey, it's Tom from C20. It's great to be with you today. I am stoked to be here with Sam from Park SSC. These guys are absolute bomb. We've been doing a bunch of work with them, and we're just in the middle of a really cool new activation in FIFA 2022. Sam, you guys at Park have been working for people and for Planet. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your brand.
Hi, Tom. Yeah, thanks for having us on. We have been doing a lot of work in a lot of different areas. We're an impact-driven football brand. We create our impact for people. So we work a lot with charities around the world to deliver footballs and football equipment to disadvantaged communities and kids. And we also work a lot for the planet. So all of the stuff that we do, we like to do in a very sustainable and environmentally friendly manner. So hence, I guess, partnering with C20.
That was one of the things that we noticed when we first started talking to you. This is not the first thing you were doing in sustainability, but it was the next thing you wanted to do. Where did that motivation come from? I mean, you obviously have been caring about it well before we came on the scene.
There's only one planet with football pitches. So we really like playing football, and we need to preserve the ability to do that. We work a lot with displaced communities, with a lot of charities that support refugees and people seeking asylum, and we know that a lot of that is driven from the climate crisis. It's not all through conflict. A lot of it is through the climate change that's happening. We kind of were aware of that right from the very beginning of the brand, and knew that everything we did, we wanted to do in a responsible way. So we started by the simple things of offsetting our shipping and our transport, and using biodegradable mailers, and reducing the amount of single-use plastics, and using recycled packaging. And when we make our clothing, we use certified organic cottons and recycled polyesters. And it was a really natural step for us, as you say, in terms of moving to that next phase. We really wanted to do more.
I think a lot of businesses are keen to be a part of the solution. But what we've heard when we're out in the world talking with people is that it can be really murky for businesses to navigate in the sustainability space. Honestly, a lot of people aren't sure where to start. They're not sure which solutions are going to be the right ones. Part of the reason why C20 exists is because we want to take out the uncertainty that businesses might face in this space, be it from tree schemes that actually aren't what they promise to be, or carbon credits that cost way too little to really be effective. We wanted to step in and engineer a solution that was built around transparency, impact, stopping pollution before it happens. And that was what really drove us into this space. Out of all of that, what landed with you, and where did it align with your own mission?
I think from our perspective, it really made a lot of sense to go with you guys, in that we felt as though it was the smart solution. So the idea of stopping carbon pollution before it actually starts, for us, I mean, it's almost like say no more, really. It's like, wow, if we could go back in time and stop all of this before it even happened, would we be able to do that? I mean, obviously we can't, but it just felt like the smarter solution to us. The idea of planting a tree and waiting for a long time for that tree to get to a point where it can actually contribute positively to this mission that we're all on, felt like we were just wasting time. So the way that you guys do it is measurable, and the fact that we can dive in, start making an impact immediately, and it has a slightly more on the front foot approach, shall we say? And from a footballing perspective, that makes sense to us. It's like If you want to win the game, you got to get out there and get on the front foot and, take it to the opposition. And you can't sit around and, kind of sort of wait for it to kind of play out in front of you. You've got to take control of the situation. And we felt that, C20 was the solution that enabled us to do that.
And let's talk a little bit about that first solution. So the first project that we tackled together was the carbon negative football. I absolutely love this product. They look beautiful. That's all credit to you guys. Great design chops on this thing. But why don't you talk a little bit about how that process was for you, from coming up with the idea to partnering with us to just the process of getting it out to customers?
We knew that we wanted to move into the space of being able to make our footballs carbon negative, well, neutral and then negative. We've been having lots of conversations with our manufacturing partners around materials usage and different things. And, we'd already sort of eliminated PVC from our manufacturing. It was a simple choice to make for us. Polyurethane is a better product. It's not a great product, but it's a better product than PVC. It's more durable, it lasts longer. We've been trying to push them further in the materials space, but it just wasn't moving as quick as we wanted it to move. So we felt that in tandem, alongside that project, we wanted to, step ahead and do more immediately, which is why we kind of then found ourselves having a conversation with you, who we found through another brand, Good Citizens, that works with you guys. Yeah, it just became a logical solution, really, and sort of dovetailed into our process, in a seamless way. It didn't mean that we had to kind of deviate our production or our manufacturing or anything that we were doing. We could kind of just step right into it.
It's one of the things that I loved in the journey is that you guys are looking for the practical ways, like at the manufacturing floor, to reduce the footprint yourselves. And then within the scope of what's possible, you start asking, well, what can we do creatively to go even further? We can partner with C20 for the changes that just aren't possible right now. But you always have a mind about stopping your own footprint where possible first, because at the end of the day, we all have control over that side of things, but it's not total control, and you didn't let that stop you. You moved on and you found us, and we were able to build this carbon negative football together, which has been really exciting.
Just to add on to that, I mean, I think the way that we look at our impact is there's obviously two sides to it. There's one side which is minimizing harm, and the other side which is creating good. There's a lot of things that we can do on the minimizing harm front that pushes things forwards as we're starting to, working on the side of creating good on the other side. We want to, do more in our materials science. We want to do more in those areas, but they're just longer. You have to have a longer runway to get that into production and into effect. So I think that, being able to immediately do something was really appealing to us.
And from a business perspective, has it helped you stand out?
Yes, our response has been really great. It's been probably more than we thought it was going to be honest. We're a football brand, so there's obviously a lot of people that like football, but not everybody likes football. And I think that what it's done for us, it's opened up our brand to a audience that maybe wouldn't have taken a second look at us. It's got us press and media where we maybe wouldn't have got it before. I think that it's allowed our existing audience to kind of really understand and get a better understanding of what we are and what we do and our values, and I guess it's we do more, like we're doing more, so there's more to the brand. There's more stories to talk about. There's more things and hooks that people can grab into when they're thinking about us as an organization.
One of the things that maybe our audience won't be familiar with is that for every park ball you buy, one is donated, and your environmental ambition lined up with that, so that for every ball you buy, that ball's carbon negative, but you took that through to the one you donate as well. So everything that comes out of your shop, every park ball, has had the about 5 kilos covered and taken out from polluters' hands. So that's the carbon negative football. But one of the things I can't help but talk about is what we're in the middle of right now. It's been a really exciting week for us both because we've done another world first. This is FIFA 2022. We've turned some of those games carbon negative by locking away 100 grams for every game that's played against Park's Save the Planet 11. This is a team you've put together. EA has put it up as the featured squad battle this week. And for each game that's played, that 100 grams that's locked away is way more than the footprint of the time you'd spent gaming, maybe 5 times. So this is huge, ambitious, and really exciting. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the impact of this activation and what excites you about it?
You've summed it up pretty well. It's a lot of fun, and I think at the beginning of all of this, before we kind of get into the technicalities of it, essentially, this is our second partnership with EA, and the first one we did a really great activation around our 1-for-1 football program, and we knew that we wanted to do something different in the second one, and we wanted to kind of expand our footprint and our impact within the game. And it was just a logical choice to follow on from the launch of our carbon negative footballs to bring the carbon negative initiative into the game itself. And like you said, we came up with a team, and the fun thing about the team is it's an entire team made up of goalkeepers, because if you want to stop carbon pollution, the best people to stop it is the goalkeeper. So we've got a team of 11 goalkeepers that we've had a lot of fun with, talking about why they should be, on the left wing or playing in the center of midfield. So that's been like super fun, and I think that reaction, in terms of, I guess bringing a really creative and fun solution to an audience that, giving them a way to kind of talk and think about and learn about climate and the crisis through just a fun way, that's kind of what we're about. It's a very serious conversation that we're wanting to have, but we want to have it in a kind of somewhat kind of light-hearted manner. So every time they pick up their controller and challenge the Save the Planet 11 over the next 7 days, then 100 grams is locked away, and we're aiming to lock away 100 tons over the course of the week, which, if we reach our target, will be astonishing. There's been nothing quite like it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to keep hearing the responses of people out there. I think you're spot on. If we're not finding ways to get people thinking about it in a fun and engaging way, they'll start to lose hope that there's much they can do, that there's any place for them in this change. And nothing could be more harmful to the cause of getting on top of climate change, finding solutions. And it's not an insignificant amount of carbon. You said the goal is 100 tons at the end of 1 week. I did some maths. That's several flights around the world. That's hundreds of thousands of beers. If you could claim back some of that, and I know you can't, but if you could claim back some of that, which of your goalies would you fly over to have a drink with?
Yeah, good question. Who would be the most fun out of our team? I think it would be. I think if I could maybe get 2 of them on a flight, I reckon the Schmeichels, Peter and Casper, that we've got in centre of midfield, the father and son duo. I think it would be fun to kind of sit down with them to, just as a conversation about, the difference of, how goalkeeping has changed over the generation that they've spanned, but also, obviously, the conversation around, the how the climate crisis is, and our awareness of what needs to happen, how that's changed since, Peter was in goal to now Casper's, protecting the net. The 2 of them, if we could get, they're Danish, so you're going to be spending a lot on beers, but I think we could probably spring for it.
All right, look, if they're listening, we will cover the carbon for your trip. You just get over here. We'll get around the table. We'll have that conversation. Look, sustainability has changed over the years. I think this generation and the ones to come are really awake to the importance of this issue. And you clearly have demonstrated a knack and an appetite for implementing these world first ways of bringing sustainability into your business. Sam, what's the next thing you're going to tackle?
That's a good question. Bringing all of the things that we have been doing around equality and sustainability and bringing that into the actual football kit itself. That for us is the next frontier. I feel as though, we're a football brand and we can't really be a true football brand unless we are, we're providing a really great kit offer to our customers. So yeah, that will be our next frontier will be that. And I'm sure we'll be, knocking on your door to help us implement it.
We have a World Cup coming up this year. Obviously, an event like that is massively significant for the community. It's a huge place for people to come together, enjoy the sport, celebrate, be united, huge value. But it comes with a astronomical carbon footprint. What do you think about the sport's ambitions to go carbon negative? Is it something we can start thinking about?
I think it is. I think it has to be. I mean, everybody has to think about it. So I don't think that it's even a question in that regard. I think that, football is it's a sport. It's not, it's not the be all and end all of everything. It's not the biggest polluter on the planet, but it is something that is a cultural force that, if football is doing something, then other things will follow. It will be talked about, it will be written about, it will be looked at and copied. And I think that, football has a responsibility as a game to, step up, as we all do. But I think that, from my perspective, there's obviously, the World Cup comes around every 4 years and, has a massive footprint. There's a lot of stadiums are built and infrastructure is built and various things that happen that kind of contribute to that. But I think that the week in, week out, transport to grounds, moving fans around to watch games. I think there's a lot that can be done, that within football, but also that football can lead within its own communities. So I think that improving, bus routes to stadiums and cycle paths and parking and, all of these sorts of things that, enable fans to kind of take alternative modes of transport rather than just driving to the stadium, essentially, would also be, a good first step, which, again, football can lead within their communities, working with councils and to, improve that infrastructure, because ultimately, those are the things, alongside, energy and waste that we can all, as a football community, we can all kind of, make top of mind.
One of the reasons why C20 loves working with a brand like yours and working in the space of sport is because of what you said. It has a great ability to influence culture. If soccer comes in and is able to really make a stand and be a leader in this area, we know that many will follow. For any companies out there that are thinking they might want some of this, want to be ambitious themselves, we would definitely encourage you, come speak to us. We would absolutely love to see if we can find an exciting partnership together. We know that people take notice, and we know that you have the ability to have an impact because of where you're positioned. Sam, I just want to thank you so much. You have been great to speak to. You've been great to work with. We have been really thrilled that you've been a leading partner for us, and look forward to the future together. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Sam from Park SSC. Check out their stuff. Check out the Carbon Neutral Football. Check out the FIFA 2022 Squad Battle. If you don't have either of those things, change that right now. We're really excited to show off what we've done. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.